What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of DT Podcast. Welcoming back once again, Mr. Burt Green, who's going to break down UFC 287 live from Miami, Florida. Burt, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm very good, sir. In a shit world full of fucking pronouns and men competing against women, it is a pleasure to put all that nonsense aside and sit down and talk about fights with you.
Yeah, same, man. Yeah, same. This is why I don't watch the news. I don't watch any of that shit.
Dude, I flick through the news from time to time, and I regret every time I flick through the news.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing good there. There's nothing good there. Put South Park on. There's 23 seasons now. You can just watch them on loop. You'll have forgotten the first ones by the time you finish it. That's it. That's all you need.
Are they on 23 seasons now?
Yeah, I think it might even be 26.
Jesus.
It might even be season. You know what? I'll correct myself. I'm fairly sure it's 26.
Wow. That's impressive. I was always a huge fan of South Park. I love the clips when they come up on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. But I got to really take the time, sit down and watch an episode. They're fantastic.
They're so good.
Yeah.
It's top tier. It's top shelf. It really is.
Do you know their movie? Is it Trey Parker and the other guy, Matt Stone?
Yeah, Team America.
Yeah. The movie Team America is fantastic as well. But I'm thinking of basketball. Do you remember basketball?
I do remember that actually. Yeah,
phenomenal
that's old
show.
school.
Yeah,
that's going down to the depths, isn't it?
Showing my age.
Woo.
Good times, my man. How about Holly Holm last week deciding to take the mic and pushing a new agenda?
What did she say? Sorry.
Well, she was talking about, the sexualizing of kids and all that kind of stuff. Like with the drag shows in the US and them being completely oblivious to the fact that this is going to harm the kids way down the line.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. Like kids shouldn't have sexuality of any form shoved down their throats at such a young age.
Yeah, it's
crazy
stuff.
Like, I didn't think that was. I thought that was relatively common sense, but people are nuts.
Dude, common sense left in 2020. That is no longer a thing.
It's even in the world of video games. I just did a reel on Instagram because literally it was related to I've been dying to find out when they're bringing out this DLC for Cyberpunk 2077, and they had a press conference today to announce the date that they would be having a press conference to reveal the date that they might be releasing something. That's the world we live in now. This is it. I mean, like we're not gonna survive, are we? People, I mean.
I'm terrified for the next generation, dude, and I'm bringing kids up in this generation. It's pretty goddamn scary. When you take something as simple as what's happening with the video games, as you just said, or the news, or agendas, or education, or this whole fucking, you seen the TikTok thing where in China the TikTok app is pushing educational videos and education for their kids, and in East the West and America and all that kind of stuff, it's all these shitty mind-numbing crap videos that just keeps them bored while they flick through their phones. Dude, the world's it's fucked.
It's because China play the long game.
Yeah,
I respect that.
What are they playing? All 9 innings.
Thing is, this is another thing that I won't go too far down because I don't like to get political or anything. But it's just this is part of the problem. This is part of the problem with having the Western way of doing things. It might not be the best because people look at dictatorships and they're like, yeah, they're terrible. It's like, yeah, but at least they can plan 100 years in the future. They have a dynasty. They can plan 100 years down the line. Whereas the reason everything's so screwed up is because everyone's just trying to get re-elected in 4 years. They don't care about what's coming after that, or they don't care about what's happening after they're out of office because they don't care.
They just give a fuck about their own pockets, man.
So it just means that nothing actually gets done.
Oh yeah,
it all just crumbles. Yeah. And Russell Brand brought up a good point that basically, we have a system in place where pharmaceutical companies profit from pandemics. Energy companies profit from energy crises. The military industrial complex profits from war. And so for that reason, when you have an institution where people can make huge amounts of money from like a crisis, then we're just going to be in a state of perpetual crisis.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
just
no,
what's
dude,
going to happen.
I agree. It's insane. What I want to do, my next move is I'm going to quit everything and I'm going to just get one of those private jets and lecture people all over the world about climate change
That
and
sounds pretty
just
good.
how they should stop pollution and stuff. And like the hypocrisy of the fucking world. And this goes back to my point of with Holly Holm and her message.
Mm.
We're fully on board, Holly. We're fully
Yeah,
on board with everything you say. But we go to the UFC, we watch the UFC, we watch fights, we zone out so that we don't have to think or talk about these
that's
issues.
true.
And the
Yeah.
irony is that we're talking about it today.
Oh god damn, we just lost a lot of viewers. I think we're just
God
like, well,
damn it.
I don't tune into this to be lectured on current events by these two goddamn idiots.
But here's the
So
thing, Bert. Here's the thing. This is where us, as I would assume, you're part of the capitalist way, right? You're appreciative of those who make money for
yeah,
themselves by themselves.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
don't want anything handed to you, right?
Oh no, I wouldn't be opposed to just a big lump sum of money. That'd be nice.
But
You know?
we would appreciate someone working for it, not to be distributed to people who don't work for it, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't think I'd work.
But
I don't.
that's what I'm thinking of doing when it comes to podcasting, Bert. I'm going to get a Patreon for my liberal subscribers, and just due to popular demand, they're saying, "Listen, Dave, we need you to tone it down. We need you to be more liberal, forward thinking, progressive." So, an announcement is I'm going to Patreon, and every single one of my episodes will be available for my liberal listeners. Every single word is going to be censored. It is going to be 30 minutes of the beep censor sound, and you will not be offended one iota. So
have you
that's
ever
my plan.
seen? Have you ever seen Yellowstone?
I've heard about it with
Oh man,
what's
it's
his
just
name?
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant show. I absolutely love it. I'm all in on Yellowstone. But like, spoiler alert, if you're watching Yellowstone and you haven't and you're not up to date with it, just skip forward like a minute because I'm about to say something. Is that enough warning? That's enough warning.
Dude,
Anyway, so
there's no such thing as spoiler alert.
yeah,
We're on the internet.
Kevin Costner's character basically he's like running for governor, and his speech was brilliant. You'd like him because literally he's just like he talks about how
Old school.
like, yeah, he's just he's like, look, at the end of the day, I want Montana to stay how it is. I'm looking to try and preserve what Montana's going to look like in the next 100 years. You know, if you want these Starbucks and big chain companies and all these guys to come in and build casinos and build these resorts and for people to use our state as their holiday home, and people call that progress. I am against progress. If you want progress, don't vote for me. I am not progress. I am the wall that progress bashes against, and I will not give. And it's just like,
I love it.
yes, Kevin.
I
Like,
know
it's
I gotta YouTube that later when I get on
it's
because
so good. It's a great show. You'd like it. It's like it's
yeah.
these ranchers basically. Yeah, it's really good.
There you go, man. Well, we're here to talk about UFC 87, and
Yes, we are.
let's fly through the main card. Dude, this is a main card of assassins, man. I'm looking forward to this. This is a
Ridiculous.
fight fan's dream. This isn't for the casuals.
I mean, I'll be honest. Even the prelims are absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Really.
Honorable
Like,
mentions. I didn't even look at the prelims.
honorable mention: Kelvin Gastelum, Chris Curtis. That's going to be so much fun. That
Didn't
is
know
so
Kelvin
much
was
fun.
fighting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. We haven't seen him in a while. I thought Li Jiang Liang was out, but they've still got him on the website. So
Mhm.
maybe their website is trash. Chris
We're
Barnett,
we're pre-recorded quite a few days, so I'm hoping nothing drops out because we're going to look really stupid.
Li Jiang Liang, I'm fairly sure has already dropped out. He's still on
All
the
right.
website, but I'm fairly sure he's dropped out against Michael Chiesa or
Oh,
Chiesa
Kesev's
or
injured. Yeah, I saw that.
is Chiesa injured as well?
Yeah, I saw that he's injured. Is it a knee injury or a
Ah,
quad injury?
get them all out of there. You know, I've got a quad injury. I was still at the gym tonight. Goddamn pussies.
Badass. Nothing stops you, man.
Nothing
But
stops me.
first fight of the night, Raul Rosa Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez.
It's
Let's give. Am I mispronouncing his name?
no, no, no,
All
no, no.
right.
I was just gonna say it's weird. seeing a bantamweight who looks like they've got gigantism because he's a bantamweight. But he looks like Bigfoot Silver, who
that's
had
the thing.
gigantism. That's like
It's gigantism. He looks like Quagmire. You know, Quagmire is.
Yeah. Like not shitting. I'm just saying he does have that kind of gigantism look about him, but he's a bantamweight, so he can't be that big. But he's very good.
Yeah, dude.
Ridiculous. Very good.
Let's power through these fights with our. Did you do your fight picks? Are you posting fight picks?
I haven't yet, but I am. Yeah, I haven't. I haven't actually. I mean, yes, because the fights are tonight, so of course I've done all my fight picks.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to take that away from your content. So, do you want to give fight picks on this, or do you just want to give
some picks? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so let's rapid fire these on picks and how you think it's going to go. So Raul Rosa Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez. I don't know much about Rodriguez.
Yeah, I know nothing about Christian Rodriguez. For that reason, I'm going with Rosas Jr.
There you go.
My ignorance will breed my pick.
That's it. That's the Paige Van Zandt approach, right? Everyone knew who Paige Van Zandt was, therefore she's the favorite.
Yeah. Oh no, well, I went the other way. I was like, I know who Paige Van Zandt is, so I'm going to have her opponent because Paige Van Zandt is not the best.
Wowzers.
Like there are a few fighters that I do that with. I'm like, you kind of chinny. Yeah, I might take your opponent.
There you go, man. But Paige, I'm not going to make fun of Paige, dude. She's earning $400,000 a month.
Of course she is
doing what she's doing.
Yeah, fair play to her. Look, why the hell not?
Capitalism.
I cannot wait for all the like proper like sex videos to come out because they will. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time.
For sure. Like,
mostly for Austin Vanderford. He's a stud.
He's a tremendous human being. I'm going to tell on a future episode my OnlyFans experience and how I almost set up an OnlyFans account.
Nice.
Tune in. Back to the fights. I don't want to talk about Paige Van Zandt, the most annoying sound in all the world. So you're going to go with Raul Rosa with this one.
I think so.
See how I pronounce the R on that one. He's a good fighter. He's got great grappling. Look at those ears. Of course, he's got great grappling. The UFC needs stars, and he's got star quality based on his debut.
Yeah, and he's so young as well. They like he's like a Mexican Sage Northcutt.
Very true. Yeah. Sage was like, he was a huge prospect, but they put him like he did. Sage did the opposite to what Sugar Sean O'Malley is doing now.
Yeah.
He's holding himself back. He's working on his contract. He's waiting on the money. And then he's fighting the tough fights.
Yeah, Brian Barberena kind of stopped that hype train, didn't he? Barberena choked him out.
There you go. So we're going to say Raul for that fight. Then we got Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. Dude, this is going to be a savage fight.
Yeah, it really is. Because Ponzinibbio, I rate very highly. But Kevin Holland, when he puts it all together, I mean, he's got phenomenal jiu-jitsu. He's very long as well. He covers a lot of distance with his strikes. He fights long very well actually. His cross is particularly good. He generates a fair bit of power on that. Whereas Ponzinibbio is just a destroyer. Like he'll go in there, winging punches, poking eyes.
Yeah.
He will poke your eyes right out of your sockets and then knock you unconscious.
But this is a tactic that is not being discussed right now. I think we touched on it on the last one, where you get your warning in the locker room, but then if you eye poke, you get a warning. A poke or a groin strike or any break of the rules, you already had your warning. It should be an automatic point deduction.
Yeah.
And, you know,
hey,
John
agreed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Why are we arguing? I agree with you.
I would never argue with you.
No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Not even for views, future argument.
That's fair. Yeah.
Kevin Holland has a lot of redemption coming into this one. I think Kevin Holland is going to go to the ground. I think he's going to try and get the respect back from the jiu-jitsu community because of what happened with Chimaev. It's a stubborn like fighter thing. I think that's what's going to happen. Kevin Holland by submission.
He's so big for that division as well. 6'3". He's carrying like what, a 9-inch, 8-inch reach advantage as well. And with his skill set, I just do not see, like, unless Ponzinibbio goes in there as a marauder and just wings and can not wings, because that makes him sound like he's not skillful. He's super skillful. He's ridiculous. 30-6. That is a record. That is
savage.
good lord.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. I'm gonna take Ponzinibbio.
All right.
I got a feeling
Is he going to outstrike him?
he's gonna poke him in the eye, and then he's gonna smack him across that face. He's gonna put his lights out.
All right. All right. I'll take that bet.
Don't
Rob,
bet on that. That's a terrible bet.
I mean, terrible bets is what we do here, though, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, right. Then we got Robert Font versus Adrian Yanis. Font, like, why would you have the why, Bert, are there rankings when number 6 is fighting number 12?
Weirdly,
Why?
yeah.
Answer the question.
Well, the rankings are meaningless anyway, and
Yeah, right.
also rank 12 is the favorite here. Rightly so as well. I think I like Yanez.
He's
Yanez is like,
yeah, he's minus
he's
180.
like Yanez is kind of like a slightly more well-rounded bantamweight Jorge Masvidal.
Right.
And I like him. I like him a lot. He's very, very good.
Yeah.
He's got a wonderful head of hair.
That doesn't win you fights, dude.
No, look at that though.
Ain't no Benson Henderson.
It's magnificent.
Yeah. Robert Font, I think, by submission on this one.
I did not know that Robert Font was from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew him. He's from a town not too far away from a friend of mine who lives there.
Huh.
That's a lie. I just lied to you.
Good for him. Good for him.
There you go, man.
Yanez puts him away.
Yanez puts him away. So you're going against me on these fights, man. You have no faith in my fight picking abilities.
I'd just like to correct myself there. Right. Yanez doesn't put him away, but he wins a dominant decision.
A decision, okay.
Rob Font's very difficult to put away, but Yanez, I think Yanez is going to just. I don't know. Rob Font's. I don't know. He's good.
He's more patient.
Yanez has got something about him that I just.
Right. And it's not just
intangible.
The hair.
It might just be the hair.
Okay. Edging it, yeah. I don't know, dude. I'm really looking forward to that fight because I love the patience of Rob Font. I love his takedown defense. He gets guys up against the cage. He uses elbows and knees. That old school grit and grind. He's got good submissions, well rounded. I'd love to see Rob get back on some sort of winning streak and get a run at the title.
So I like Rob Font. Look, he's a good fighter for that one.
Yep.
It's just one that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
you know, I like both guys in that one really, but Yanez, every time I watch Yanez, I can't pay attention. That makes sense.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm like, look at that hair,
phenomenal,
magnificent,
rolly fingers. Co-main event of the evening, dude. This could be a main event. Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal, the BMF champion who hasn't won a fight since winning the BMF title. I want this to be. I was going to say I want this to be a slugfest, but I just don't think it will be. I think both fighters need a win to get any sort of respect. I think that Jorge is, what am I trying to say here, Bert? He's on a downward spiral. He's in the news. He's in lawsuits. He's got the issue with Kobe. He's talking all this trash. He's not backing it up. Gilbert Burns goes in there against Chimaev, and that's a victory in and of itself, having lost that fight the way he did. I think both fighters need to be so calculated in this one, and I think that Gilbert Burns is going to edge a decision in this one.
Now, for me, you got to look right, because it's very easy to write Masvidal off here, because that's what a lot of people have been doing. They've been writing him off because,
me included,
obviously,
me included, yeah, for sure.
Yourself included, okay.
Yeah.
But you got to look at it right before, like he lost to Usman. the first time, and then he got his rematch. Obviously, he battered Nate Diaz. He knocked out Ben Askren. Like he knocked out Darren Till, like knocked him flat as
Yeah.
well. And Till's a much bigger guy than him, and is a good striker. You've got to remember that Jorge Masvidal, he is very skilled, but he's on 3 losses on the bounce, but they are to 2 people, Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington, 2 heavy wrestler style fighters who just put. And the reason people go, oh, but you got outstruck by Usman, that's because of the threat of the takedown. That's because like he got caught with that punch because he was too busy thinking about the takedown. His hands were staying low.
Yeah.
Because he was thinking about the takedown. I don't think that Gilbert threatens with that nearly as much. I think Gilbert will entertain the striking far more readily. And actually, I think that would be a mistake. I think that the blueprint for beating Jorge Masvidal has been written. Shoot in relentless takedowns and then, punch him in the face when he's trying to defend the takedown.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gilbert Burns, I don't think he doesn't really adjust his style for the fighter that he's fighting. He just fights his fight. And he did great against Hamzat Chimaev. But I think, honestly, if you're talking about just pure striking, Masvidal's probably a better striker than Hamzat Chimaev. I think it probably is. Like people, after those 3 losses, people have been very quick to discredit Masvidal. But his skill set is actually very impressive. When you look at how he timed that knee on Ben Askren, like it takes a high level guy to really kind of look at someone's fighting style and decide, yeah, I'm going to sidestep here, and then his instincts will kick in, and I'm going to land this knee to the face. And the knockout of Darren Till was particularly impressive as well, because he just caught this combo and it was just brilliant. So
yeah, I agree. 2 different fighters, man. 2 different fighters. Jorge before the BMF title and Jorge after it are 2 different fighters. He was this murderer, dude. The Darren Till one was scary because you see Darren's head flap back on the canvas. But yeah, I just like you see how he was. I mean, there's an asterisk on the first Usman fight because of the last minute and the weight cut and all that. But just since then, and especially with the Kobe one, dude, you fighting on emotion, not playing his game,
But he's only really, like I said, he's lost 3 fights on the bounce, but only to 2 guys, and they've both got a very similar style. And I don't think that Gilbert Burns is that stylistic fighter that poses those kind of problems. I think that we will see this play out on the feet a little bit more. I'm not saying that Gilbert Burns can't beat him on the feet, far from it. Obviously, Gilbert is pretty good, but we saw Gilbert get pieced up by Kamaru Usman as well. So I think this one's actually closer than people think it is. And purely for the story element of it, I'm going to pick Jorge Masvidal.
You have no faith in me, huh?
Purely for the story element of it, and because I
Right.
love an underdog. He's the biggest underdog on the card, I think.
Yeah.
Like he's been really written off. And you know what? We've seen him baptize too many people for me to think that he can't do it one more time. Jorge Masvidal gets it done.
Yeah. It's for the story. You're absolutely right, because the winner of Colby versus Leon Edwards, either winner would have a story with Jorge.
I think that if Masvidal wins here, he leapfrogs Colby. Colby will be very upset, but Dana White knows what the money fight is. And if Masvidal beats Gilbert Burns, the money fight is Masvidal versus Leon, not Colby versus Leon. Don't get me wrong, they still do good numbers with Colby versus Leon, but the story is there, and I think that would take precedent, and they would put that in first.
Yeah.
Because they haven't signed up anything with Colby and Leon. It's all talk at this point.
Yeah. See, this is what not Dana, this is what Vince McMahon was talking about when he refused to buy the UFC when it was up for sale back in 19 or 2001 or whatever it was. You can't control the storyline. You can't control the destiny of
The narrative.
the narrative, the story, whatever it is. What if Gilbert wins this fight? Then all that goes away.
Yeah, it does. Thing is, it's tough to say. Well, not tough to say, but it's not fair, is what I would say. It's none of it is fair. But if Gilbert Burns wins this fight, he does not get a title shot off the back of it. He will have to wait until Colby and Leon fight it out.
Right.
If Masvidal wins this fight, he probably gets the next shot at Leon Edwards. I would say that because people say, "Oh, Dana White's already been talking." It's like that they've dissolved fights and put new fights together on flimsier bases than this.
This one's different, though. This one's different. Do you know that all charges have been dropped against Jorge from Kobe?
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, all charges were dropped. That allows Jorge to go train, to travel over state lines, because I guess there's some law that you have to abide by, for traveling purposes.
Flight risk or something.
Something like that, yeah. But all charges were dropped. Now, nothing is confirmed. This is a Brendan Schaub fucking conspiracy theory.
Oh, God.
Let's do another episode on that. Yes, sir. But with such confidence, the night of the fight, saying Kobe is the next guy no matter what, the conspiracy theory on this one probably rings through. But
what, that Dana arranged for him to drop the charges?
Drop the charges, you get the next title shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? But again, Brendan Schaub.
Yeah. Great guy. Never met
him. Yes. All right. Main event of the evening, dude. This is the story of stories, man. The stalker. We got Alex Pereira, the champion, versus Israel Adesanya, the former champion. I noticed on the website it says Israel Adesanya is from Nigeria. I don't know why they're doing that, because it's like,
because he was born in Nigeria.
He was born there, but his whole existence is New Zealand, and he pushes this. You don't think so? Maybe I'm biased.
I don't mind. If he was born in Nigeria, then he's born in Nigeria, fighting by way of New Zealand. That's fine. I have no problem with that. One thing I do have a problem with, though, is I did notice that people changed it several times on Wikipedia, and they kept having to change it back.
I know what you're going to say.
Cain Velasquez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cain Velasquez is not Mexican. He wasn't. Yeah. He was born in the United States. Yeah. He has Mexican heritage, and that's great. Be proud of your heritage. That is all good. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But I don't think you can say you are Mexican if you are not born in Mexico. Where you were born dictates your nationality. That is just it. That is the patch of dirt that you were born on. That's that is the nationality that you are. Whether your nationality means anything, that's a different question altogether. For me, it doesn't mean anything. Like, people are people, but I don't like him being billed as like Mexican champion. It's like, not really, because he's American.
He's got a Mexican last name. We're in dangerous territory here, borderline racism. I got no issues with Mexicans, Nigerians, or New Zealand people.
Mexicans are a nationality, so you can't be racist.
It's not racist, exactly. That's the thing. It's like Trump. It's like Trump. Trump wasn't racist. He loves Mexico.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat this burrito. It's gonna be delicious. Best burrito in the world.
Great guy.
Great guy. Never met
him. Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Fight number 3. They fought in kickboxing. Is this fight number 3 or 4? They fought twice in kickboxing, right?
Oh, who knows at this point. 4, I think.
This would be number 4.
The second in MMA, though.
Second in MMA.
Twice in kickboxing.
Israel.
So far.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, so far, Israel is 3 down.
Yeah. It's not looking good.
He's fighting for pride.
He's fighting. He's got that rematch. I don't know if it's a rematch clause or just he's paying his dues. But Israel was winning. You can confidently say this as well. Maybe he's winning the last fight, coming into the last round.
I think so. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
It's the thing about MMA, man. It ain't football. If you're winning 5-0 in the first round, in the first half of the game, and you get a goal in the last half, you lose. You lose the game. In like Chael Sonnen versus Anderson Silva, you could be beating him up for 4.5 rounds. You get caught in a triangle, you lose the fight.
That was crazy.
Amazing. I'm devastated. I hate that.
I was gutted because I'm a Chael fan.
Yeah.
I was loving it the whole way.
In his defense, dude, he thought that if you tapped out, that was the end of the round. You go back to your neutral corners.
Brilliant.
The
Brilliant. That's
misunderstanding.
so funny.
Yeah. But who's going to change their game plan here? Because I think both fighters need to. Who's going to do it? Who's going to implement it? Alex did really well in the last round of the fight, but he was losing that entire fight. Israel took his foot off the gas and he ended up losing the fight. He got hit with that fucking unbelievable left hook and that big
Oh
right
yeah.
uppercut.
I think we're going to see largely the same fight. I don't think either guys are going to change their approach too much. I really don't, because obviously Pereira got the win, and Adesanya knows that he was, winning most of that fight. The
Yeah.
problem with this one is just that Pereira is so difficult to put away. It's like he's made out of like steel cable. He's when you watch like Adesanya like landing kicks and stuff on his legs, you could see it was almost hurting Adesanya to kick it. And that's a problem when you've
Yeah.
got a guy who's that hard, like, because he's just, and he's so big for that weight class. For like, I don't know how he gets down to 185 pounds. It's crazy. Fair play to him for doing it, but like, I don't know how long he makes that weight for, because like when he walks around at what Stipe weighed for his last fight with Ngannou. That's what he
Right.
walks around at, like 230, 240 pounds, which is crazy. Like
Yeah.
he's such a big guy. He's so big. And yeah, to fight him in a way, fair play to Adesanya for even fighting this monster. You
Yeah.
got to like big respect to Adesanya. And look, Adesanya did have him hurt in that first fight. I think Adesanya could do it again, but I don't know. There's 3 losses down. Pereira is just a bit of, and Pereira's kind of like his shadow. I don't know why Pereira hates Adesanya so much, but it's like
Yeah.
he's been sent from the future to just assassinate Adesanya. Did you know
Yeah.
he was in the corner for Anderson Silva when Adesanya fought Anderson Silva?
Staring at
Can't
him.
believe that. Yeah, just staring at him.
Yeah.
Just like,
The last round of the last fight, there was that check kick There was that check of the kick from Adesanya, and it was checked by Alex. And Adesanya stepped his foot back, and he was just the whole foot buckled.
yeah, yeah,
And that's what kind of set up the last part of the round with the flurry up
because
against
he
the
couldn't
cage and stuff.
move.
Yeah, it was
Mm.
insane, dude. So I don't know. I think both fighters should change up. I mean, it's easy for me to sit here at a fucking microphone, but should change their game plan to mix in some more wrestling, to mix in, I don't know, some better, like not better striking. I don't want to say that, but more footwork that will get you inside faster. So like a jab right, and then you step in and take down, because Adesanya has to have that on his mind now for the entire next 5
Mm.
rounds. And Alex knows, hey, I got to make sure I don't get caught by this guy, because I was losing the entire fight the last time. But what do I know? I'm just a guy with a microphone thinking he knows shit about fighting.
Yeah, for me, I just think that
Who's going to win?
Adesanya, gut feeling, I'm going with Adesanya.
Right.
I think he really wants it. He's just because he's even said, look, this is my last chance. If I don't beat him, I'm not fighting him again. I probably won't fight in the UFC. I've had a great career already.
Yeah.
But it's like, but that's worrying. He's almost semi hinting at retirement.
Right. He's
Almost
made
semi
enough
hinting
money.
at it. He's made enough money. He sure
Yeah.
has. The problem is like you need to be both feet in. You
Yeah.
can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You can't be thinking, oh, I might go and do this because that's. But honestly, I don't think he is. I think that Adesanya wants to beat this guy more than anything, more than the belt, more than anything. He wants to beat this guy, and I think in his head he knows that he can. I think he's frustrated that he hasn't because he knows that he can.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you watch the kickboxing fights, they are actually way closer than it's yeah. He's 3 losses down to this one guy, but that doesn't really tell the whole story. Like when you watch the fights, actually they're both very evenly matched.
Yeah.
I would say that Pereira definitely has the power advantage, but Adesanya is definitely quicker and probably uses his footwork a little bit more effectively because he was able for a lot of the first fight to be able to do damage without taking damage himself. And that is the key to beating Pereira, because you're not there's no point in getting into a firefight with that dude. He's going to knock your head off. And you just need to, even if you're not hurting him, you just need to be scoring points. And you can hurt him, because Adesanya did have him hurt in that fight a few times. So he can be hurt. He's just very tough to hurt.
Yeah.
He's just made out of granite. I wouldn't.
Man.
I mean, I don't know what. I think I'd kill myself. So what do you do?
Would this guy ever go away?
Yeah, he is like the Terminator, and he's
Savage.
got a great presence, Pereira, as well. Like, he doesn't talk a lot. He just literally has that 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
It's just like,
even on UFC.com,
it's still the same, isn't it?
It's the same fucking monotone.
He would be like a hitman, like for a Brazilian gang, if he wasn't a fighter.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Yeah. For
like,
real.
He'd have some outlandish crocodile skin boots, a nice suit, probably a couple of golden handguns. You
sound like you know a lot about this shit, dude. Is there something you want to confess?
I've watched a lot of television.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
this is what television tells me, that cartel hitmen.
There you go, man. So you got pretty much everyone who I have, the opposite, except for Raul Rosa. I'm excited, dude. Are you going to watch the fights live?
Absolutely not. No, it's in Miami. That's all. Sorry, callback to Masvidal fight. I think that's a big advantage for him as well. It's in Miami. It's in Miami. He can literally, it's his hometown. He can wake up in his own bed. He can drive to the arena. There's no traveling. He's comfortable. You know, right. I think there's a real advantage in that. There's no, because Gilbert Burns, obviously, I don't know where he trains actually. Where's Gilbert Burns train?
Is he
trains in the States? Probably trains in Florida.
Do you remember the old fucking Black Zillions?
Yeah.
That was fantastic, Jim. I don't know if he changed that. I think they dissolved.
I think he might, you know. Did they?
They had to dissolve, I think, due to potential racism accusations. You can't get in if you're not black or not Brazilian.
Okay. Oh, that's fair.
I don't know. But that, again, another Brendan Schaub conspiracy theory.
Nice. Great guy.
Never met him. Bert, thank you very much again for breaking this shit down for me, man. Again, as I said, it is a pleasure, because it takes us away from the harsh reality of the shitness of the world we live in and the news that tries to fucking propagate this horse shit in us, dude. I'm going to turn myself into the next Andrew Tate if this keeps going, man. There's a market for him. Tell people where you are, what you're doing, and what you're about.
You got to be careful trying to market yourself as Andrew Tate. You'll get held without charge for 2 months.
Do it. Do what I say.
We don't need charges. What? Isn't that? I mean, look. However you feel about like the Tates, I didn't know who they were. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I love them.
But to hold anybody without charge, that says you don't have evidence that they've done anything wrong. Because if you did, you'd have charged them. So how are they able to hold them without charge for 2 months? That doesn't seem right to me. That
corruption.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know anything about like those guys. So I'm coming from a completely neutral corner here, just looking at the face of it. Like, there's loads of people on my timelines that are saying, "Yeah, no, it's great that they're locked up." It's like, is this a precedent that we want to set, that you can just be locked away until they scramble together enough evidence to try and pin something on you? Is that where we want to be?
If this was happening, if that was happening
to Greta Thunberg, if that same thing was happening to Greta Thunberg, there'd be outrage. There'd be fucking emissaries sent from all these different countries, all these bleeding hearts. Do you know what I mean? Because it's somebody that doesn't push the same agenda that the mainstream media likes to push, it's fine. And it's like the whole punch Nazis thing. It's like, all right, but who decides who the Nazis are then? You? You've decided that just because someone doesn't agree with you, it's okay to punch them in the face. That's actually a very right-wing thing to say when you think about it. It's like the sides are flipped. It's weird.
I want to do a whole episode on that.
Yeah, no, we should, to be fair.
I want to do it, dude. I've been asking friends of mine who would either share or would be the opposite opinion of mine to talk about this in an episode. So maybe we save this for the next one if you are
Yes, we
comfortable
should.
talking about all that shit.
Yeah, I am. To be fair, it's a difficult topic, and I'd say that I am central, which makes me Hitler these days. But do you know what I mean? It's like if you want to just stay right down the middle, apparently that means that you are Hitler and you should be punched in the face.
Again,
And
I've
it's
got so much on this topic, dude.
yeah,
It is
it's a
something I
weird time.
really want to push.
Yeah,
Back to the
yeah,
original,
yeah.
uh, not question, back to the original statement. I want you to tell people where you are and what you're doing.
Well, I am on YouTube predominantly. The Burt Locker on YouTube. If you type in the Burt Locker, you no longer have to go through 7 pages of the Hurt Locker videos. The Burt Locker is the number one thing that comes up. I'm not going to say number one search. It might be the number one search Burt Locker related video channel on YouTube. That might be true. I might not be lying there. You know, yeah. I break down fights. I have a good time with it. It's lighthearted, fast, funny, informative. That's how I like to do it. I break down the whole cards in about 15 minutes. So I don't think anybody else does that. I do very, very quick hits. Sometimes if I don't know much about them, I'll do a bit of fun information about them. Like, they've got a terrible nickname or something, or wonderful head of hair. I know that Yanez, it's just all going to be about the hair. The hair's swaying it for me.
It's all about the hair.
Beautiful. It looks so thick. It's like
just like Brendan Schaub. Great guy.
Yeah, great guy. Never
met him. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, do me a favor. Take your phone or your laptop and hit the word subscribe with your mouse or your finger. It will really help us out. Put your fight picks in the comments. I can't wait to hit like on you commenting. Thank you once again, Burt, for joining us here at DT Podcast. Follow us on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. And if I'm out in the street, follow me on the street too. Thank you very much again, guys. Rock and roll.